Hi, welcome to the last lecture of the semester. And this week it will be short, just going over some things to get you ready for the final exam. So I just want to kind of briefly touch upon a few points, and I'll give you the prompt for your essay and some links for you to look at. So from colonial times to today, your textbook has taken you on a religious journey through America. In an attempt to form a narrative, the authors have chosen specific historical markers, various characters and events, diverse power structures, cultural contexts, and varied religious practices. And I also made choices along the way as to the materials you have looked at and the books you have read. All this together has formed a basis for you to form a narrative. I've provided a link to a journal article by Giles Gunn, and he looked at a number of books that deal with religion in America from the late 1990s to early 2000s. So he's reviewed a number of books. I think it might be helpful for you to begin to think about how you would like to frame your story as you read Gunn's take on some of these more popular books of this era. Also, think back to the beginning of the semester. Remember the story of the elephant, telling us that there are many facets to the history of religion in America. And in many ways, we're like blind people trying to describe an elephant with only a small amount of information at our disposal. So just think about it. Do you feel less blind? Can you see more of the elephant? Exploring the field of religious studies is extremely broad and can be very difficult, if not impossible, sometimes to get that entire picture of the elephant. So I'm hoping after our semester together, you're better able to understand the religious landscape of America a little bit better. I've included a link to Harvard's Pluralism Project. These are on your syllabus. They'll also be on Blackboard. I hope that the Pluralism Project might be helpful for you to visit. If you haven't already done so, I may have provided it as a link earlier, but it does have some helpful information there. And I'll also leave you with some thoughts on Muslims in America as looked at by the Pew Research Center. The title of the article I've linked, I think, says a lot about where we are today. And the title is U.S. Muslims Concerned About Their Place in Society, but Continue to Believe in the American Dream. So I think that says a lot about the history of religion in America, integrating how new people have come and changed the political landscape, the cultural landscape, and the religious landscape of America, while continuing to believe in this idea of an American dream. As historians, we all grapple with how to best tell a story, whose voice is included, whose is left out. If we focus too much on the little details, do we miss the big story, and vice versa? Do we focus on ideas or material things, culture or economics, social or political? Do we focus on this idea of unifying or diversifying? Some of the same questions that we ask ourselves about how we do history seem very theological in many ways. Does history make men and women, or do men and women make history? Is it about progress or struggle? Is it teleological? Does history have a purpose? So this week it will be your chance to tell the story of the history of religion in America. What evidence will you use? What framework or narrative do you think best tells the story? Is it a hopeful one or a pessimistic one? Or maybe it's somewhat ambivalent. Can we use the past as a lens to visualize the future? Commentators, demographers, and political prognosticators continue to ask what the new generation will bring. Pollsters focus on features that distinguish millennials from older Americans, and millennials, the pollsters say, are more diverse, more liberal, less religious, and racked by economic insecurity. They are, as one Pew report read, quote, relatively unattached to organized politics and religion, linked by social media, burdened by debt, distrustful of people, in no rush to marry, and optimistic about the future, unquote. But luckily, I'm not asking you to predict the future. I want to know about the past. So, how would you sum up the big story of religion in America? Drawing on everything we have covered, what do you think is the major theme, pattern, conflict, or argument in the history of religion in America? Drawing on the secondary and primary sources we have read this semester, please give specific examples or case studies that support your claim. Essays are expected to be analysis of the texts, so not just summaries, and all essays should contain a thesis statement. The essay should be 6 to 8 pages in length, double-spaced, and a 12-point font. Please submit through the assignment link in Blackboard only, so I don't want to receive it through email. There is a link. I've posted it in your syllabus, and it's on Blackboard, so please submit through that format. And I want to thank all of you for making this a great semester. I wish you well on all of your finals, and please enjoy your summer. And again, of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and contact me. Thank you.